uh, show you one-dimensional thermal analysis. How we can do the thermal analysis. See here, one interesting thing of finite element method. Finite element method has same equations for all disciplines. Okay. Now, how it is same equation to that of the structural problem, that also I will explain. Okay. In structural problem, you have equation K into U is equal to F, that is stiffness matrix into displacement matrix is equal to force matrix. Same type of equation you will get in thermal analysis. Okay. How we can get same type of equation in thermal analysis, that I will tell you here. Now for that purpose, I will take one dimensional thermal rod. Now suppose this is a one dimensional thermal rod here. This white section, it is a thermal rod and it is insulated on its periphery. It is insulated on its periphery, so heat is flowing only in one direction. Okay. Now heat coming through this surface, it is going out through this surface. Okay, that means the amount of heat coming through this surface, it is same heat is going out of this surface. Okay, it is not going in lateral direction. Why it is not going in lateral direction? Because there is a insulator around this periphery. So just heat is going in only one direction. Heat is flowing only in one direction. Suppose that is in x direction. Okay. Now same approach we have to use here. Our first step is discretization. Now for discretization, here I will show you it by only one element, because you have uniform area. But in case of thermal analysis, sometimes we need to take the more elements, but I will start with the single element, then we will solve the problems on multiple elements. Okay. Now now it is, I will discretize this by one element. See, this is the one element discretization of this thermal rod. Okay, which is subject to conduction only. Okay, conduction only, there is no convection. Okay, that means there is no heat flow this from this surface. We have to analyze the conduction only. Okay, because of the insulation. Next, here it has also two nodes. This is node I and this node is J. Okay, node I and sorry node I and node J. Okay, this one is node I, this is, and this one is node J. Now it is a thermal rod, we can say. This is a thermal bar element or thermal rod element, or it is a one dimensional thermal element. Okay. See here, in software, when we select the discipline thermal analysis, it will automatically assign the properties of the thermal problem. If we select the structural discipline, software will automatically assign the properties of structural discipline. Now this is a thermal rod, it is same to the structural element, but its properties are different. Okay, what are that properties and how we can formulate the finite element equation for this, that I will show you here. Okay, now for that purpose, what I will do, I will use uh, law of conduction, and that law is Fourier's law. Okay, now what is Fourier's law? Can anyone tell what is the Fourier's law for one dimensional conduction?
minus K dt by dx.
Yes, minus K dt by dx. Q is equal to minus K dt by dx. That is, heat flow is equal to minus K into A dt by dx. Why we have to write the minus? What is the significance of minus sign? Yes, because heat is flowing from
Sir, high temperature to low temperature.
Low temperature. Yes, that law we are using here. Now this is your one dimensional thermal rod. Okay, or thermal element, we can say. Now Fourier's law you have written here. Q is equal to minus Ka dt by dx. Now when we want to write this by using difference, if your temperature is linearly varying, okay, if your temperature is linearly varying, we can write this dt by dx as a difference between the temperatures divided by length, okay, divided by length. Now here what we will assume, we will assume the length of element equal to L, so we can write dt by dx is equal to Tj minus Ti divided by L. Is it correct? Tj minus Ti by L. If I assume the L as a length of this element, then this temperature at J node minus temperature at I node, and divided by length, it will be give the dt by dx. Now what is meaning of this? Here we have assumed a linear variation of the temperature, and when we take two noded element, there is a linear variation of the field variable. Okay, here your field variable is temperature. Okay, and temperature at this location and at this location. Okay, difference between these two temperatures divided by length, that will give the gradient of the temperature. Okay, now next one. Now I will put this value in this equation. Then when we put this value in this equation, it becomes Q is equal to minus Ka Tj minus Ti by L. Q is equal to minus Ka Tj minus Ti by L. Okay, you can see here, you will get this equation. Now see here I have written here Qi means I am writing this equation for node number I. Here it becomes Qi is equal to minus Ka by L Tj minus Ti. Okay, for I node. Now one thing you have to remember, if there is no convection from the surface, then heat coming from this or heat coming inside this node, that should be equal to the heat going outside the node. Am I right? Now here whatever heat coming inside this element, that same heat is going outside the element. Okay, that means this is the heat coming inside the element and this heat is going outside the element, and magnitude of these two heats is same, but only difference is in the sign. Am I right? That means if I write the Qi is equal to minus Ka by L Tj minus Ti, then Qj is equal to Ka by L Tj minus Ti. Do you agree with this? Yes, Akshay?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So I will write Qj is equal to Ka by L Tj minus Ti. Now you see these two equations. This is the heat coming inside the element through node I, and this is the heat going outside the element through node J. There is no convection here. This direction, in this direction, heat flow is 0. Okay, heat flow is 0. Therefore, whatever heat coming inside the rod, that same heat is going outside the rod. Okay, and this heat coming, it is Qi minus Ka by L Tj minus Ti, and heat going outside the rod, it is Qj Ka by L Tj minus Ti. Now can you write this in matrix form? You see here, if I write this as a one matrix, okay, I will clear first. This as a one matrix, you see this on left side, this is one matrix. On right side, you see this is linear equation. Do you agree with this? This is linear equation. How it is linear equation? If I multiply by this K by L to this bracket, it becomes K by L into Tj. It is minus K by L into Tj and plus K by L into Ti. Okay. Now next, here for this equation, K by L into Tj minus K by L into Ti. Okay. Now how we can write it? Qi equal to this one, K by L into Ti first equation minus Ka by L into Tj into Tj. Is it correct? First equation. Shreyas, whether it is correct or wrong? Shreyas? Whether it is correct or wrong? Ajay Mudurkar, are you here?
Yes, sir. Right, sir.
Okay. Now, Akshay Shinde, can you tell me second equation? How second equation will be formed?
A by L.
I will take first term Ti first as a first term. Here K minus
Minus K by L Ti.
K by L into Ti. Okay. Next
Plus
plus
K by L Tj.
K by L
Tj.
Tj. Okay. K by L Tj. Okay. Or now you see this is your linear equation, this is also your linear equation. Now these two linear equations we can write in matrix form. Now how we can write in matrix form? This is one matrix. Okay, this is one matrix, and one matrix on right side it is Ti and Tj, Ti and Tj, and middle matrix is a square matrix of K by L minus K by L minus K by L, K by L. Okay, now you can see this one. You can see this from your matrix formation. You can get it Qi by Qj, K by L, 1 minus 1 1 Ti Tj. You see this first equation, Qi is equal to K by L minus K by L into Ti minus K by L into Tj, and second equation Qj equal to minus K by L into Ti plus K by L into Tj. Have you got it? Have you got it? This is known as a
Yes, sir.
finite element equation of thermal problem. Now in short, we can write K into T is equal to Q. K into T is equal to Q. Here K is K by L. K by L means it is known as a conductivity matrix. For thermal problem it is a conductivity matrix. For structural problem it is AE by L. Am I right? AE by L, and that matrix was stiffness matrix. Here K by L is conductivity matrix. It is the heat required for unit rise in temperature. Okay, do you agree with this? That is conductivity matrix, and conductivity matrix is K by L. Don't mix structural and thermal problems. For thermal problems it is, this is conductivity of the material, this is area of cross section, this is the length of the cross section. Okay, and same thing you will get here, 1 minus 1 minus 1 1, and here it is Ti Tj. And for structural problem you have force here, force matrix here. Okay, and here Ae by L. Okay, you see here K is also property of the material, modulus of elasticity is also property of the material. Am I right? Do you agree with this? And force matrix here, and here your displacement matrix. And in case of thermal problem, here you have heat flow matrix. Okay, this one heat flow, this is your conductivity matrix, and this is your temperature matrix. Okay, this is conductivity matrix. Okay, it includes the property of the material as well as geometrical properties. Area is geometrical property, length is also geometrical property. Okay, means this is a constant matrix. Okay, now T is the temperature and Q is the heat flow. Okay, see here heat flow. If I want to write this equation in terms of the heat flux, how you can write heat flux? Can anyone tell how I can write this equation in terms of the heat flux? What will be the modification required for writing this equation in heat flux? What is heat flux? What is heat flux? Yes, can anyone tell? Pandit, what is the difference between heat flow and heat flux?
Hello.
Yes. What is the difference between heat flow and heat flux?
Heat flow and heat flux.
Ah,
Don't know, sir.
Jyotiba, can you tell?
Heat flux is a change in heat flow. Heat flux is change in heat flow with respect to time.
Shreyas? Shreyas?
Sir,
Ah,
I'm something confusing little bit.
heat flow and heat flux. I want heat flow you can get. What is heat flux? You tell me heat flux.
Sir, rate at which heat flows occurs.
Yes, it is a heat flow per unit area. It is heat flow per unit area. Am I right? Now you have studied this one. You have taken one capital cube, and one small cube. Okay. In heat transfer, you have taken capital cube for heat flow and small cube for heat flux. Am I right? Now here I have taken small cube for this heat flow, and same notation I am using for heat flux also. Okay. Now heat flux is the heat flow per unit area. Now if I want to write this equation for heat flow per unit area, what I have to do? I have to divide by area to this equation. Am I right? I have to divide by area to this equation. Now this equation becomes Qi Qj equal to the, when we divide by A, it becomes, this area will be removed from here, K by L, 1 minus 1 minus 1 1 Ti Tj. Okay, you have to remember this. Here this is for heat flux. Heat flux means heat flow per unit area, heat flow through this node per unit area, and heat flow per unit area through this area. Okay, that means this equation we can use for heat flow also and heat flux also. You have to remember this. Okay, have you got it? If you have doubt, you can ask me.
सर कसं heat flux साठी कसं यूज करू शकते?
Heat flux means what? Heat flux is heat flow per unit area. Yes, heat flow per unit area. When I divide by area to whole equation, now what I will get? Here I will get heat flux, here also I will get heat flux. Now here when we divide on right side, this A will be cancelled with this one. Am I right? Do you agree with this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, this becomes heat flux. Okay, now this equation is applicable for heat flux also and heat flow also. Okay, now if you have doubt, you can ask me, otherwise I will go for the numerical on this.
Hello, Shinde sir.
Yes,
Can you
sir.
hear?
Yes.
Sir, actually, I have one announcement for students.
Yes.
All the students, this is Professor P.S. Patil, and we need to create your capstone project groups today itself. So those who are under capstone project track, they have to create their groups and they have to share their names of group members to me by 2 p.m. and I will circulate the link, Google Form link on your WhatsApp group. तर तुम्हाला काय करायचं आहे, तुम्हाला फक्त सपोज 4 मुलं असतील तुमच्या ग्रुपमध्ये, काय, तर 4 मुलांपैकी एक मुलगा असेल तो ग्रुप लीडर असेल, तर ग्रुप लीडरनी फॉर्म भरायचा आहे आणि त्यानं बाकीच्या चौघांचे नेम्स आणि रोल नंबर्स गुगल फॉर्म मध्ये भरायचे. ओके, मग तुम्ही जे कॅप्स्टोन प्रोजेक्टला आहेत त्यांनी तुमचे ग्रुप डिसाईड केलेले असतील ऑलरेडी की कोण कोण एकत्र काम करणार आहे. हॅव यू डिसाइडेड? Hello, I want reply from students. Students, have you decided your group members?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So no problem it is. I guess you are having lectures till 1:30 p.m. Okay. So I am giving time up to 2 p.m. You can fill the Google form till 2 p.m. so that your capstone project groups will be finalized. आणि त्याच्या अगोदर जर तुम्हाला इन बिटवीन लेक्चर्स 10 मिनिटं ब्रेक मिळतो, त्या दरम्यान जरी भरला तुम्ही तरी चालते, काय प्रॉब्लेम नाही. ओके, इज इट क्लिअर टू ऑल दोज हू हॅव देअर इन कॅप्स्टोन प्रोजेक्ट ग्रुप ट्रॅक?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you, sir. You can continue, sir.
Okay. Now this is a finite element equation for thermal problem. Now I will take one or two numerical on this. Okay, these numerical also important. Okay, and somewhat complicated as compared to the structural problems. Okay. If you have no any doubt in the structural problem, then it will be simple for understanding. Okay. Now see here, this is your problem. Now you write down this problem, and after completion of writing, you tell me. Are you writing this?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Complete fast. Rohit Patil, Rohit Daji Patil. Sorry, Rohit Danaji Patil.
Yes, sir.
You have also write this problem,
Yes, sir.
and I want answers from you. Over. Pandit, is it over? Sudarshan Saure, have you completed it? Sudarshan Saugle. Why you are not replying?
Sir.
Yes, over.
No, sir. Writing.
Write it fast.
Okay.
Over. कहाँ था? Okay. Now I will go for the solution. Now see here, this is your this is the problem. Here it is a composite wall. It is a composite wall. Now it is made up of three materials. Now this is the first material having conductivity 80 into 10 raised to minus 3. Okay. This is the second material. Its conductivity is 1 into 10 raised to minus 3. Again, this is the third wall. It is 80 into 10 raised to 3 minus 3. Okay. Now here this wall is separated to, or it is at 200 degrees centigrade, and this is exposed to the surrounding at 20 degrees centigrade. Okay. Now length of wall L1, it is your 10 millimeter, L2 is your 5 millimeter, and L3 is 10 millimeter. Okay. Now what you have to calculate? You have to calculate the temperature distribution through this composite wall. Are you getting this? Suppose this wall is of brick, this wall is suppose of some insulator, again this wall is of brick. Okay. Or this wall is of metal, and this wall is of brick, and this wall is of again metal. Okay. Now you have to find the temperature distribution through this composite wall. Now first we have to discretize it. Okay. Now for discretization, you follow the rules which I have told you. Okay. Now here area is not given. You can assume the area 1, because we can calculate the heat flux also. We can apply the equation for heat flux also. So we have to assume that unit area in our finite element equation. Okay. Now A1 equal to A2 is equal to A3, that equal to the 1 millimeter. You can assume that. That means this cross section here, this cross section you can assume as a 1. Okay. Here. Okay. This area you can assume 1 through which heat is flowing. Okay. Now we have to discretize. Now can anyone tell me how many elements we have to use for this? Can anyone tell? How many elements we have to use? Three elements are sufficient for this here, because there from here to here material properties are same. That means there is a same material. We can use one element for this part. Okay. Now second, we can use one element for this part, and third, we can use third element for this part. Okay. Do you agree with this? That means we can model this by 3 elements. We can discretize this by 3 elements. Now you see this, discretize the model here. This is element number 1. Okay. This one. This is element number 2, and this is element number 3. Okay. These are the 3 elements which I have used here. Length of this first element is 10 millimeter. Length of the second element is 5 millimeter. Length of third element is 10 millimeter again. Now conductivity of the first element, it is the conductivity of the first material, it is K1. Okay. Conductivity of the second element, it is K2. Okay. Over conductivity of the third element, it is K3. Over. Now if you observe this one here, properties of the first element and third element are same. That means first element is same to the third element. Okay. If you write the conductivity matrix for first and third element, it becomes Ka by L into 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. Okay. Now that conductivity matrix you will get same for first element and third element. So I will write here conductivity matrix K1, it is K1 A1 by L1 into 1 minus 1 minus 1. Okay. Now what is K1 here? K1 is, here we have K1, you see this, K1 is 18 to 10 raised to minus 3 and L1 is 10 millimeter. You put these values here, A1 is 18 to 10 raised to minus 3 and A1 is 1. A1 is 1 because we have taken A is equal to 1. We have assumed area equal to 1. Okay, A equal to 1. Therefore, it just becomes K1 upon L1. K1 is your 80 into 10 raised to minus 3 and L1 is 10 millimeter into 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. Now, after putting that, are you doing the calculation? Yes, Akshay.
Yes, sir. Karala,
Ah.
sir.
Yes. What you will get here? Stiffness matrix. Sorry, not stiffness, conductivity matrix we can see. It is this one. You see here 8 into 10 raised to minus 3. Is it correct? You check it and you tell me.
Yes, sir, it is correct.
It is correct, na? Now same thing you repeat for the second element. Second element. Now K2 is this one. Sorry. K2 A2 divided by L2. 0.2 into 10 raised to minus 3 because here conductivity is different. For second element your conductivity is 1 into 10 raised to minus 3. So this 1 into 10 raised to minus, yes.
Sir, the
Yes.
area is equal to 1 का घेतलं म्हणजे का म्हणजे
Already I have told you that is we can use this equation for heat flux also. That means when we divide by area, what will get? You will get one na.
हा करेक्ट सर. बट हीट फ्लो जर काढायचं असेल तर सर मग एरिया ठेवायच लागेल ना.
Just I will tell you here. If you correlate this problem with your practical application, here where you are getting composite walls in case of boiler problems. Here boiler in boiler internal structure is of metal. Outside that there may be brick or outside that there may be another metal. Am I right? Or material. Okay. Now see here, if we consider the heat flow from the boiler, it is same in all directions. Do you agree with this?
Yes.
Yes. Now in that situation, not necessary to take the area. You can solve the problem for unit area and that results we can add or that we can use for complete cross section or complete circumference of the boiler. Okay. Do you agree with this? That is the concept in the finite element method that you will get in discretization also. Here in discretization we are not going to solve, or in finite element method we are not going to solve the repetitive things. We are not going to analyze the repetitive things. Okay, we are going to solve the simple sample thing and that sample we can implement over the entire domain. Okay, so here for this type of problem unit area assumption is correct assumption or it will not give the wrong results. Okay,
Okay.
have you got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Next, whether K2 is correct or wrong, you check it.
बरोबर आहे.
Yes. Now after that K3 is also same to the K1. Am I right? Because here K1 is equal to K3 and L1 is equal to L3. So K1 is equal to K3. Okay. K1 is equal to K3. Now calculate the global conductivity matrix. Okay. Now K is equal to K1 plus K2 plus K3. Now you tell me how we can or what will be the size of global conductivity matrix?
4 by
Pandit.
4.
It is 4 by 4. Yes, it is 4 by 4. Now here total degrees of freedom are temperature at this node, temperature at this node, temperature at this node and temperature at this node. There are 4 nodes. So we are getting the 4 temperatures at 4 nodes and so your total degree of freedom is 4 and your global stiffness matrix is 4 by 4. Okay, 4 by 4. Now if we go for the first continuity matrix, here third row, fourth row, and third column and fourth column have 0 elements. Okay, do you agree with this? That means here this is 0, this is 0. Okay, all these are 0, and here also 0, here also 0, here also 0, here also 0. Okay, and all these 0. Now this is for first element. Now for second element, you see here second element, this is second element, this is not connected to the node number 1. Therefore your first row is 0 and first column is 0. Okay, and last row is 0 because again fourth node is not connected to the element number 2. Last row is 0 and last column is 0. That is, last row is 0 and last column is 0. Okay, do you agree with this? Now for this third stiffness matrix, or continuity matrix of third element, your first two columns and first two rows are 0. That means here if we write this continuity matrix, first row is 0, second row is 0, first column is 0, second column is 0, and you will get the terms on third row and fourth row and third column and fourth column. That terms are non-zero terms. Okay, this is your K3. Okay.
Sir, can you
yes.
explain, sir, why second
Yes,
row and second column is 0?
Okay, I will explain it. Now you see here, according to rules which we have discussed in structural analysis, that same rules we are using here. Now I will start from this first one. You see here, if we consider the element number 1, now for element number 1, node number 3 is not attached to the element number 1. Node number 4 is not attached to the element number 1. So if we write its expanded form, you will get the non-zero terms on first row and second row and first column and second column. That means K11, K12, K21 and K22 are non-zero. K13 is 0 because third node is not connected to the element number 1. Okay, K14 is also 0 because fourth node is also not connected to the element number 1. That means whatever we are doing on the element number 1, it will not affect on the node number 4 and node number 3. Do you agree with this? If we consider this node as a separate, this element as a separate element, element number 1 as a separate element. Now when we add the temperature at this node number 1, that will not affect on the node number 4. Okay, when we add the temperature at node number 2, that will not affect on the node number 3 and node number 4 because when we consider this element as a separate element. Okay, so this term and this term, also these two terms and these two terms, here these terms are 0 for first element. Okay, have you got it?
Yes, sir.
Now for second element you see here, if we consider this as a second element, now node number 1 is not attached to the second element, node number 4 is also not attached to the second element. So when we write the continuity matrix for second element, your first row is 0 and first column is 0. Why first row is 0? Because first node is not attached to the second element, that is K11, K12, K13, K14. All these terms are 0. Okay, do you agree with this? And here K21, K31, K41, all these terms are 0. Okay, now next one, again fourth node is also not attached to the your second element. So your fourth row is also 0 and fourth column is also 0. Okay, and your continuity matrix, non-zero terms in the continuity matrix at only 2, 2, 2, 3, because node number 2 is connected to the element 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, third node is also connected to the element number 2. Here 3 2 and 3 3, these are non-zero. Here it is 2 2 2 3 3 2 3 3. Okay, this is for element number 2. That means these terms are at 2 2 2 2 2 3 3 2 and 3 3. Okay, now k3 is same one, this one. In case of k3, if we go for the third element, node number 1 and 2 is not connected to the third element. Okay, therefore in case of third stiffness matrix, here 1 is not connected, therefore first row is 0. Okay, 2 is not connected, therefore second row is also 0, and first column is 0, second column is 0. Your conductivity matrix is at this location. It is at 3 3 3 3 3 4 4 3 and 4 4. Okay, these terms are only non-zero. That means these terms are going at this location. Okay, and by putting that at appropriate location, you do the addition of all these conductivity matrices. Okay, now you tell me what is the global stiffness matrix here.
8.
Okay, you
Hello?
see here. Yes, is it correct? You check it. Whether it is correct or wrong, Akshay?
Yes, sir. Correct, sir.
Yes, I will explain again here. You see here. Here this is the element number 1, this term. This is element number 1, this is element number 1. Now at this location, node number 2 is connected by two elements, 1 and 2. Therefore, here there are two terms at this location. It is one is related to the element number 1 and one is related to the element number 2. This point 2 is from element number 2 and 8 is from element number 1. Okay. Now your element number 2 is starting from here, this one, and 8 is not here. Here this one, this is your element number 2. Okay, and remain this part is element number 1, and here I will use different colors. Okay, you see here, this is element number 1. Okay, now in element number 1, this term is 0, this term is 0, this 0, this 0, this 0. That means these two columns and these two rows are 0. Okay, now for element number 2, here it will start from this location. Okay, and here this point 2, this one. These are the terms in element number 2. Okay, now remaining terms are 0 for element number 2. Now for third element, here this will start from this location. Okay, this is for element number 3. Okay, you see here, for element number 3 it is 8 minus 8 minus 8 8. Okay, for element number 2 it is 2.2 minus 0.2 minus 0.2 and 0.2. Now you write in 4 by 4 form. That means you write all the matrices in 4 by 4 matrix. Okay, and then you can add it. Do you agree with this? If you go for directly addition of this one, it will not give the correct size of the global stiffness matrix. Your size should be 4 by 4 for this problem. Okay, now any doubt here? See here, this is simple thing, it is not complicated thing. Just you check whether node is attached to the element or not, and then you do the addition. Have you got it? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Can I go for next?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now next is, after writing this one, now you write the temperature matrix. What is temperature matrix? Here it is T1, T2, T3, T4. Okay. You write the just temperature matrix as a T1, T2, T3, T4. That is nodal temperature. Okay. It's a size. Here there are 4 nodes, and at each node there is only one temperature, means it is a 4 by 1 matrix, 4 rows and 1 column. Okay. Now you see this one, temperature matrix T1, T2, T3, T4. Okay. And heat flow matrix Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Okay. Now you see this one, this problem here, T1 at this node, T2 at this node, T3 at this node, T4 at this node. Here till I have not applied a boundary conditions, just I have given the notations T1, T2, T3, T4 and Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Okay. Now therefore I am getting this as a temperature matrix and heat flow matrix. After that you write the finite element equation. This is your finite element equation, K into T is equal to Q. K into T is equal to Q. Now you put the value of K matrix from here, this one, this is a K matrix. Now T matrix is this one, T matrix is this one, and Q matrix is this one. Now have you written this? K into T is equal to Q. Now you write this K into T is equal to Q. Over next one, have you completed it? Next one, you see this one, here when we apply the boundary condition, what are the boundary conditions here? Can anyone tell? What are the boundary conditions? Response nahi bata. Yesh More,
Sir,
what are the boundary conditions here?
I don't know, sir.
Vaibhav Khade. Now you see this boundary condition. Yes. You see this boundary
T1
condition.
is equal to
T1 is equal to 200. Am I right? That means at node number 1 you have temperature 200. Okay. And at node number 4 you have temperature 20 degree. At node number 4 you have temperature 20. Okay. Have you got it? Now in Q matrix, if Q1 is the heat coming at node number 1. Okay. Do you agree with this? Q1 is the heat coming inside this wall at node number 1. Now this same heat is coming here, and that same heat is going out of this node number. Okay. Therefore your Q2 is 0. Now same thing will happen at this location. Here whatever heat coming at node number 3, that same heat is going out of the node number 3. Okay. Therefore resultant heat addition at node number 3 is 0, means Q2 is 0 and Q3 is 0. Now heat is going out of the node number 4. Okay. It may be anywhere. Right with this. Therefore here resultant heat is not 0. Resultant heat flow is not 0. Do you agree with this? At this location, heat is coming inside the wall. Okay. At this location, whatever heat going outside this node number 2, okay, that same heat is going inside the node number 2, because that node number 2 is common at this location. Here heat is coming from this side and same heat is going outside this. Okay. Resultant heat at this node is 0. Therefore, Q2 is 0. Q3 is also 0. Do you agree with this? Now that boundary conditions you have to put here. Your T1 is 200. Okay. This T4 is 20 and Q2 is 0. Q3 is 0. Okay. Now, and by putting that boundary conditions, you write the finite element equation. You see this finite element equation 8. Here this is the stiffness matrix as it is. Okay. Now this is the temperature matrix by putting the boundary conditions, and this is the heat flow matrix by putting boundary conditions. Okay. Have you got it? This finite element equation. Any doubt in this finite element equation?
सर ते परत सांगता का थोडं Q2 आणि Q3 का 0 आहे?
Okay, I will tell you. Now see here. Here, if you consider the nodes. Now, if we consider the node 1, heat is coming inside the node 1. Am I right? Do you agree with this? Heat is coming. That means there is a heat addition at node number 1. Okay, heat addition at node number 1. That means there is some heat addition at node number 1. Now, what happens at node number 2? At node number 2, see here, this heat coming from the this first wall. Coming from the first wall, okay, that same heat is going to the second wall. Do you agree with this?
Yes, sir.
Therefore, resultant heat addition at this location is 0. Resultant heat addition at this location is 0. Do you agree with this? Okay.
Okay.
Same thing will happen at this node. Whatever heat coming from this wall, that is wall 2, okay, that same heat is going outside this wall. Okay, therefore resultant heat addition is 0 here. But at node number 4, what happens? The heat coming from this, that is rejected from this wall or from that node. That is heat rejected from this node. Do you agree with this? So here at this location there is heat rejection, at this location heat addition. Okay, therefore Q1 and Q4 are non-zero. Q1 and Q4 are non-zero and Q2 and Q3 are 0. Okay, have you got it?
Yes, I got it.
Now you will get this finite element equation. Now you have to solve this finite element equation. Now see here. Here also you can reduce this equation. How we can reduce this? Here we cannot make this first row and first column, last row and last column 0. But what we can do here? Here what we have to calculate? We have to calculate only T2 and T3. Am I right? T2 and T3. That T2 and T3 are on the that is on second location in this matrix. So you write the second equation. What is second equation? Minus 8 into 2. It is 1600. Next 8.2 into T2. Okay. Minus 0.2 into T3. Okay. It becomes 1600 plus 8.2 T2 minus 0.2 T3. Okay. Do you agree with this? Now what I will do, this minus 1600 I will take on this side. Here now it is 0 on right side. When I take this term on this side, what I will get? 8.2 T2 minus 0.2 T3 is equal to 1600. Do you agree with this? Here 1600 I am taking on this side. Therefore, if I write the second equation, 8.2 T2 minus 0.2 T3 is equal to 1600. Now third equation minus 0.2 into T2, 8.2 into T3 minus 8 into 20. Okay, this equal to 0. Now here minus 8 into 20, it is a constant term. Okay, that I will take On this side it becomes positive. So minus 0.2 T2 plus 8.2 T3 is equal to 160. Okay, 160. Do you agree with this? And 10 raised to minus 3 is here. Now you can get here. Now 10 raised to minus 3 is here. We check this equation, second and third equation. Is it correct? Second and third equation. If you have doubt, you can ask me in second and third equation. शुभम
Sir.
पाटील काय हा येस
ते 1600 आणि 160 कसं काय आलं काय कळालंच नाही काय म्हणजे Q1 आणि Q4 आपल्याकडे नाही काय त्यांना.
नाही क्यू हा एक सांगतो, एक मिनिट. आता पहिलं इक्वेशन घेऊ नका, कारण तुम्हाला काय हे काढायचं नाही. 200 दिलेलं आहे. ओके, परत क्लिअर करतो. तुम्ही पहिलं इक्वेशन घेऊ नका, कारण तुम्हाला इथं टेम्परेचर माहित आहे. बरोबर आहे, समजलं इथं पहिलं. शेवटचं इक्वेशन पण घ्यायचं नाही. शेवटचं इक्वेशन पण घ्यायचं नाही, कारण तुम्हाला T4 पण माहित आहे. ओके, तुम्हाला काय कॅल्क्युलेट करायचं आहे? T2 आणि T3 कॅल्क्युलेट करायचं आहे. पण T2 कुठल्या इक्वेशन मध्ये? सेकंड इक्वेशन मध्ये. बरोबर आहे, तर सेकंड इक्वेशन लिहा. सेकंड इक्वेशन कसं येणार? -8 × 200. बरोबर आहे का?
येस सर, येस सर, येस सर.
-8 × 200 किती आलं? 1600. बरोबर आहे. नंतर दुसरी टर्म काय असणार आहे? 8.2 × T2. तिसरी टर्म काय असणार आहे? 0.2 × T3. बरोबर आहे. आणि राईट साईडला काय आहे? 0 आहे. बरोबर आहे. आता हे -8 × 200 आहे ना, ते राईट साईडला घ्या. काय होणार? 8.2 × T2 आणि -0.2 × T3 is equal to 1600. आलं का? आलं का नाही श्रेयस?
सर आलं सर, आलं.
आणि थर्ड इक्वेशनला पण 0.2 × T2. बरोबर आहे. नंतर 8.2 × T3. आता हे -160 आहे आणि इकडे 0 आहे. -160 इकडे घेतल्यानंतर काय येणार? हे +160 येणार. बरोबर आहे. आता इथं × 10⁻³ लिहायचं राहिलंय. 10⁻³ ते 10⁻³ लिहितो. नाव यू सॉल्व दिस टू इक्वेशन्स फॉर T2 and T3. T2 and T3. Calculate T2 and T3. What is T2 and T3? Now you will get this T2 and T3, 195.71 and 24.29. 24.29. Okay. After that, what we have to do? After that, you put this T2 in first equation. T2 in first equation and calculate Q1. Calculate Q1. Okay. Q1, and you put this T3 in last equation and calculate Q4. What you will get here? You put T2 in first equation, T3 in fourth equation and calculate Q1 and Q4. Q1 and Q4. Now you tell me the values. You see these values. Q1 is equal to 34 × 0.32 × 10⁻³ and Q4 is 34.32. One is minus, one is negative. Okay, 34.32 × 10⁻³. You check it. You check yourself. See here, if these two values are same, then your problem is correct. Otherwise, it is not correct. Okay, that means whatever heat coming inside the wall, that should be same heat going outside the wall. It is known as thermal equilibrium. Your problem should be in thermal equilibrium. If it is not in thermal equilibrium, that means you have done the wrong calculation. Okay. Any doubt here?
हॅलो, शेवटची स्टेप सांगा सर.
शेवटची स्टेप सांगू काय?
सर ते T2 आणि T3 पण कसं काढलं सांगा की.
हे T20 हे दोन इक्वेशन सॉल्व्ह करायचे आहेत फक्त. ते 8.
सॉल्व्ह कसं केलं सांगा फक्त.
अरे हे सायमल्टेनियस इक्वेशन गॉस एलिमिनेशन सॉल्व्ह करा किंवा कुठल्याही मेथडनं सॉल्व्ह करा ना, किंवा T3. हा येस, हा बोला.
Q2 कसं कॅल्क्युलेट केला? Q4 ना सर?
हा Q4. Yes,
Q1
yes, Q4. Sorry, it is Q4. Okay. Now you see this one, 8.2 minus 8.2 T2 minus 0.2 T3 is equal to 1600. Okay. Minus 0.2 T2 plus 8.2 T3 is equal to 160. These two equations, you make this term 0 by transformation of rho by using Gauss elimination method, or you calculate T2 in terms of the T3 from one equation and you put that T3 in other equation. Here this is simple simultaneous equation, nothing more than that. Okay. जसं तुम्ही मॅट्रिक्स मध्ये गॉस एलिमिनेशन मेथड सुरुवातीला यूज केली नाही, तसं यूज करून केलं तरी चालतंय, किंवा तुम्ही कुठल्याही मेथडने हे सॉल्व्ह करा. ओके. अँड फ्रॉम दॅट यू कॅन गेट द T2 and T3. आफ्टर दॅट, आफ्टर गेटिंग दॅट, अक्षय शिंदे लक्षात आलं का हे कसं करायचं? अक्षय शिंदे.
काल सर काल
हा, नंतर T2 value of T2 you put in the first equation. Okay, it becomes 8 into 200 minus 8 into T2 means this 195.71, that equal to Q1. Directly you will get the value of Q1. Okay, directly you will get the value of Q1. Next one, this T3 you put in the last equation, that is minus 8 into T3. Here you use this value, and plus 8 into 20 is equal to Q4. That will give the direct value of the Q4. It is, I think it is negative. Okay, do you agree with this? Now here, if you have Q1 equal to Q2, then your problem is correct, otherwise it is wrong. Okay, you have to remember this. Have you got? If you have doubt, you can ask me.
हॅलो.
हा, येस.
हॅलो सर, ते Q1 वेगळा यायला लागलाय थोडासा.
किती फरक पडतोय?
भरपूर पडतोय सर.